Mexican authorities arrested El Chapo in February. He was the leader of the Sinaloa drug cartel, which is believed to be the source of most of the illegal drugs smuggled into the United States and responsible for drug smuggling tunnels along the San Diego border. My guest, Charlie Min, his film, El Chapo, explores the surprising response to the arrest of the cartel leader. And Charlie, welcome to Evening Edition.
Thank you for having me.
Now, since El Chapo was taken into custody, there has been speculation about this idea that the man arrested really isn't El Chapo. What are some of the reasons you heard for this argument? 4
reasons. A, not a single shot was fired during his capture in Mazatlan. Secondly, where were his 300 armed guards that protect him at all times? They were absent during the capture. Number 3, why is a billionaire like Chapo, who's been in Forbes magazine, staying at an $89 a night condominium? And 4, other than the Guerrero incident with those 43 students still missing, the violence hasn't changed in Mexico whatsoever. There has not been any rival cartel trying to come into Sinaloa's turf and try to take it over. We haven't seen that.
Do you think there could be another reason for that? Like they're laying low and seeing what happens to them?
Well, I think after 9 months, it's easy to make a few opinions, and I don't think it's him.
Okay. And people can watch your film to find out more of sort of these going a little bit more in depth as to that reasoning. El Chapo, though, is wanted in 7 U.S. cities, including San Diego. What is the U.S. government saying about if they have the right man or not?
Well, the U.S. DEA Intelligence and Homeland Security assisted on the arrest, and there really hasn't been much word about Chapo since it happened. Perhaps the U.S. found out it's not him, and they're too embarrassed to admit it. If it's not him, this would be the greatest embarrassment in the history of law enforcement, and the United States would certainly be involved with that embarrassment.
For Mexico, you're thinking, but then also for the U.S. Now, your documentary captures a video protest calling for El Chapo's release. Has this amazing video of these people, really wanting him to be released, even though he's a man that has been accused for the responsibility of the deaths of 80,000 Mexican people. Tell us more about the support that he has.
Well, there are a couple of factors here, Peggy. A, I heard that these people who were protesting were paid to protest, $30 a person. Whether that's true or not, I'm not exactly sure, but that's what I heard. The Mexican people tell me he's so revered, despite the murders, because he provides for the poor. He's that Robin Hood social bandit symbol that Mexican people love. He represents wealth and power, something their own government couldn't provide for them. So he builds hospitals, churches, schools. He provides for the poor. But let's not mistake ourselves about this. Chapo Guzman, that money is protection money. I mean, I think that's blood money. The money's not green, it's red for his own protection so that people won't turn him in.
Do you think, because I said the interviews in your documentary, do you think that the people just believe this, or do you think that his actions are really true? Has he created more jobs? Has he helped the community?
No doubt. He's donated millions to the local economy. You have the good Chapo and the bad Chapo. You have the bad Chapo that his cartel kills people. Then you have the good Chapo that provides for the poor.
Let's get back to the 43 students and the escalating protests that are going on with the missing Mexican students. You said that violence is not down overall.
You mean
in Mexico?
Violence, well, it hasn't really shifted, either up or down.
Since his arrest?
Since his arrest, correct.
Okay. Why do you think the weapons charges were dropped last week against El Chapo?
Peggy, I'm not aware of that charge.
Okay.
Being dropped.
Oh, they were dropped. So they were dropped last week, and there's a speculation that other charges like laundering and money laundering and racketeering might also be dropped. So do you know where his case stands now?
Not exactly. I just know that from talking to law enforcement, there's varying stories here whether the extradition papers have indeed been put on Mexico's desk or not.
I see.
He has to finish his original sentence. He served 40% of his sentence back in the 90s before he escaped in 2001. He's got 12 years left to go on that. But despite that, I'm hearing now that Chapo may get let go on a technicality. You cannot trust the Mexican officials at all. And in my opinion, you cannot trust the U.S. officials. If you Google U.S. government, Sinaloa cartel, we're together.
Oh, okay. We're not going to touch on that one right at the moment because we don't have enough time. But let me ask you this. Why did you make this film?
Any excuse, reason, opportunity I have to shine a light on the 120,000 murdered Mexicans, I'll do that. 90% of the people in our country are disconnected to the Mexico violence. the illegal drug users that's contributing to the Mexico violence. I would say 90% of them do not know by consuming illegal drugs, they're contributing to the violence in Mexico. So it's to create awareness.
All right. Well, filmmaker Charlie Min, thank you very much for joining us. And I want to let folks know that the documentary El Chapo opened today at the Rigo Rancho Del Rey Stadium 16 in Chula Vista. More information is on our website, kpbs.org.